Hi, I'm Deb from the Quantum Blueprint, and today we're looking at a transit chart. So at the moment, we have Gemini rising and the moon in Gemini. Now, this is from Earth's perspective and from Brisbane, Australia. So depending on what part of the world you're in, to what the ascendant's going to look like and where the moon's going to be sitting. So we're going to generalize this for the moment. So the ascendant is who you show yourself to be. It's how you're seen by others. It's also your birth experience, and it's how we meet the world. With Gemini there, the field is going to become very quick because the field is full of vibration and our consciousness. It's where we reside mainly. Only a small part of us sits in the body because we're basically too big. So the field energy is going to be very fast at the moment. So it's very mental, it's verbal, it's highly reactive. And with the moon sitting here in Gemini as well in the first, it's going to be about how quickly we're thinking and speaking without giving it the time to feel what we're thinking before we speak. Because sometimes people can be a little bit rash or impulsive when this energy is happening. It's very fast and it kind of sits on the top. It's quite superficial. It's not something where you want to go deep. So the moon in Gemini, it will want to skim across the top. It'll be looking for a lot of conversation, a lot of superficial conversation, networking, or just a lot of talking about how they're thinking, not so much how they're feeling. So this moon is asking that we stop for a moment, just take a pause and feel into everything so that it can delve a little bit deeper emotionally. So psychologically, when we're looking at this setup here, this is going to probably bring up a little bit of restlessness in people. It's quite changeable, so it can change its mind and flick from one idea to another. Um, and again, more likely to think and speak before it feels. If we're looking at it in an epigenetics point of view, it can bring in a little bit of instability. There's some self-criticism that could go on there. If you're feeling a little bit that your environment's perhaps a bit unpredictable, it's because you're already wired for this. Your nervous system is already a little bit pingy, and this energy is going to unfold it or bring it to the surface for you so that you can have a look at what's really going on. Because when it comes to Gemini, it would prefer that we keep it on a casual level, not so much a deep level. Like if the moon was in Scorpio, everybody would be delving into really deep, intense feelings, but Gemini, not so much. So spiritually, this is a reminder that we carry frequency and not everything we're thinking is going to be the truth. It may be our truth, but there's a massive difference between our truth and the truth in each reality. So we do create our own reality. Therefore, what we think is our truth is how we're feeling about something, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the truth of how it really is out there. It's our personal perspective, and that will be based on how we're thinking, how we're feeling, and of course, what was going on for us in our early environment when we were younger. So this transit can also trigger overthinking. You may second guess yourself. You could get kind of stuck in a little bit of gossip or social media scrolling, anything that is stimulating the mind. That's where it's going to be today. It needs to be doing something. Otherwise, it's going to get frustrated and think about things that aren't good for you. And this is where doubt and self-criticism come in. So we need to keep the mind quite active today so that it can have functional things to think about and do instead of linking into like past pain. And because we're looking at the moon as well as the birth experience, we are looking at triggers around things that were filed in our cabinet as we were born, any sort of trauma that happened, anything emotional that happened. This is going to be mother energy, nurturing energy, and also karmic and past energy that's coming in. So if you find that old stuff is coming up, thoughts and feelings around things that bothered you, just know that these transits pass quickly, that it's not going to last long, but it is a good idea to observe it, take notice of it, and do something about processing and releasing that energy. So the ascendant changes sign every 2 hours, and we're looking at about half a degree an hour for the moon. So they're not fast movers, but they're not slow either, and they will change through the day. So if you're moon ruled, say you're Cancer rising or you have a Cancer moon, you may find that as the moon changes its cycle or changes its sign or degree with the ascendant as well, you may find that your moods change as well if you're that way inclined to be ruled by the cycles of the moon. Okay, so if you find that old patterns are coming up for you and you'd like to do something about learning how to identify what you're thinking and feeling, where it's coming from, how to process the pain, how to rewire it and replace it with something better, you can find me at www.quantumblueprint.com.au and book in a call there. So thanks for joining me today, and we'll have a look at what's going on in the sky tomorrow.